Hey, what's up, everybody? So, man, this student loan debt thing is crazy. I was just reading an article titled, let's see what the title of this is. I was reading an article titled, I've paid 18,000 to a $24,000 student loan and I still owe $24,000. And Man, how the hell are students not out on the streets rioting yet? Thank you for the compliment on the t-shirt. You know where the link is to get it. How the hell are students not rioting on the streets yet? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, take a look at this. If I can get this thing close to the screen here. I've $18,000 to a $24,000 student loan, and I still owe $24,000. I don't know how students aren't out on the streets yet, rioting, throwing a fit, going crazy right now. Um, I guess, I guess if you go out and you riot, that means that you got scammed. And if you got scammed, maybe that means you're not as smart as that degree you got is supposed to indicate. And I think that's a big part of it. I think that's a big part of why the student loan debt is like the elephant in the room. Student loan debt crisis is the most crippling financial crisis that arguably the country has ever seen. But it's like this weird thing where nobody wants to acknowledge it, nobody wants to talk about it, no one wants to mention it. And I think it's because people know that to have been dumb enough to fall for the scam and be suckered into these student loans, to be dumb enough to fall for those student loans, sort of invalidates how smart having a degree is supposed to make you. Someone says trade sex for cash. I mean, at least you won't be in debt in that industry. Um, so I think that a lot of students, they don't want to start rioting. They don't want to go public and say, "Yeah, my degree's worthless and I got scammed," because it invalidates the degree. So they want to hang on to the, because that unfortunately that's just a sad fact about why a lot of people go to college. Unfortunately, not everybody, but a lot of people go to college because it's about showing off what you can do and what other people can't do. It's a egotistical thing, and it's also about making money. Oh yeah, if I go to college, I'll be making a big salary once I get a job with my degree. And of course, anybody who doesn't go to college, you get to finger point and naysay and call them dropouts, even though some of history's greatest intellects, some of the greatest intellectuals throughout history, um, were they hated school, absolutely hated school. Einstein, and for that matter, in modern day, Elon Musk's he puts his child in some kind of a school where you there's like no rules in the school at Elon Musk. So the ultra rich have their own type of schooling that they don't allow for the lower classes. Which makes sense because that's what school is designed to do. School is designed to create an economic class system where you have a bunch of peasants at the bottom working like slaves for everybody at the top. That's why mainstream school trains children to be obedient slaves, i.e., good workers. But I don't know how students are not out on the streets rioting yet with shocking headlines like these here. I've paid $18,000 to a $24,000 student loan, and I still owe $24,000 because of her rising interest rates on the loans. The truth is that the college student loan debt crisis is probably the biggest crisis financially that this country has ever faced. And everybody likes to pretend it doesn't exist. It's like the best kept secret. We still, if you're at a social gathering, everybody still pretends like, hey, what college did you graduate from? Everybody likes to pretend that it matters. What college did you graduate? Oh, I graduated. What about you? And they love to show off their degrees still. But in the back of their minds, they know that, well, shit, I got so much debt from this degree, and so did you. It's only a matter of time before showing off that you have a degree is actually going to be an embarrassment. It's going to be embarrassing to say you graduated from college. And it's only a matter of time, and I don't take joy in this. But the sad truth is that for a long time, the people who jumped into that system because they wanted a free ticket degree to a better life and a high-paying job so they can buy themselves a nice car and other egotistical garbage. This is sort of the karma price you pay for jumping in. Jim Smith says only 49 watching, technically 46 now. What can we say, bro? People watch what they want to watch, man. Censorship? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But I actually did have my live streaming revoked earlier today because YouTube deleted one of my videos again, and they put a guideline strike on my channel again, and they revoked my live streaming. After I did my live stream this morning, like an hour later, I got an email saying, we deleted your video, and they revoked my live streaming. So I contacted, this is going to be funny. So I contacted YouTube live chat. I'm like, hey, you deleted one of my videos again. You're probably, it's probably another mistaken deletion, like the past 3 deletions were all a mistake. Please reinstate my video now and give me my live streaming back. And it's crazy. YouTube support has gotten really good in the last month and a half. It's really weird. And it's sad because it seems like YouTube customer support has gotten a lot better since the tragic shooting that happened in YouTube, like 2 months ago. So it's just sad to think that YouTube only cares enough to provide good customer service after a terrible shooting tragedy that happened. But it is weird that it seems like YouTube's customer support has just gotten so much better. I got an immediate response on the YouTube chat, and the help person was so helpful. They're like, yo, we're going to take a look at this now. We're going to escalate it real quick. And I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope this time it doesn't take 2 whole months to look at my case and reinstate my video and give me my live streaming back. He's like, oh, no, I surely hope it won't too. We're going to escalate it. Like 3 hours later, the video was reinstated and I got my live streaming back. So, man, I mean, YouTube's customer service has just gotten really good. And sadly and tragically, it seems to have only really gotten a lot better since the tragic shooting, which is sad. But anyways, that's a side topic. Yeah, I don't know, man. This whole student loan debt is crazy, and nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody knows it's there. It's looming over. It's crushing people's shoulders. Everybody knows that there's this massive student loan debt crisis. but nobody wants to talk about it. And it's weird. Like, why wouldn't people talk about it? It's slowly starting to push out and really become a pressing issue. And I don't even think in the 2020 election it's going to be a big pressing issue. That's how in denial people are. People so desperately do not want to believe that they were scammed by going to college. And that's part of the arrogant complex of some people who go to college, is that they go because we have some, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's an interesting point here. There's an interesting alternative theory. Well, Jim says Red Pill has almost 200,000 subscribers and has less live stream viewers than Aurini, who is at 13,000 subs. Something isn't adding up, bro. Well, who the hell knows? It's easy to cry censorship, and sometimes I don't like to just assume it's them. I like to assume I'm the problem first before I assume it's somebody else's. It's very easy to just say it's their fault. But what I will say is that my channel covers so many topics. I don't run my YouTube channel like a profitable business would. If I was just interested in massive number of subscribers and massive number of views and massive amounts of cash, then I would not run this channel the way I do. I would stick to one topic, okay? I would make my videos super predictable and comfortable for people. People come to YouTube for comfort. Most people come to YouTube for comfort. They're not here to be red pilled, basically. So if I really wanted to run this YouTube channel like a profit machine business, I wouldn't do spontaneous live streams like these on a whim. Like, I don't pre-plan these live streams. They just come out of me whenever the hell I feel like it. I would have a nice studio, and I would have some branding, logo shit, and I would make everything so cookie cutter and predictable and nice and safe. And then yeah, that would be so. The truth is, my channel covers a wide range of topics. How many other channels cover anything and everything that they're interested in? How many channels would come out and start talking about flat earth, sympathetically towards flat earth, actually questioning whether or not it's a possibility? Nobody would do that. That's career suicide, basically. But since I've built my channel up from day one to be a passion project where I basically express whatever I feel, what's on my mind, this is where we are. So I have a lot of subscribers, but the problem is that I cover a wide range of topics. So there might be a lot of people, but they're all here for different reasons. Some people only tune in for the consciousness, simulation theory, do we live in a video game stuff. Other people here only for the flat earth shit. Other people are here only for the Trump 2020, finally someone with balls shit. You know what I'm going to say. Links to these shirts are in the description right down there. Some people are here for the anti-feminism shit. Some people are here for the gender equality videos. Some people are here for the rants I make about the college system and the student loan debt crisis. So everybody's here for a different reason. So that might also explain why the live viewer count, is relatively low compared to my number of subscribers. Anyways, it's not good for business. This is not how you're supposed to run a YouTube channel. You're not supposed to cover a wide range of super diverse topics. You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to focus on one thing and give people predictable, repetitive content that makes them feel good. But anyway, this is off topic. Let me get back to the live chat here. So again, for those who are just tuning in, I've paid $18,000 to a $24,000 student loan, and I still owe $24,000. So, yeah, the student loan debt crisis is one of the most shocking and crazy financial crises the country has ever seen. But there's this weird thing where everybody knows it's there, but nobody wants to talk about it. And I don't even think in 2.5 years, when the 2020 election starts to ramp up, I don't even think the student loan debt crisis is going to be a major campaign platform yet. It still won't be there yet. Hey, look, it's LeBronda James, the mentally retarded well, I think you're an atheist, or maybe I don't know what you are. The mentally retarded potential atheist who says agnosticism and atheism are two different things, yet provided an essentially identical definition for the two different things. What a complete monkey retard. But anyways, you say my YouTube channel is dead. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that you're here live contributing to my viewer count. Hey, thank you so much, dude. You're awesome. Hey, let's talk about your mentally stunted definitions of agnostic versus atheist. I'm gonna get back to the topic at hand, but if you respond, we'll go at it here. So, I don't even think in the 2020 election cycle that this is going to be a major campaign platform. Not even then, because people want to pretend that this is not a real serious issue. Maybe by 2024, it's the student loan debt crisis is going to be an actual serious mainstream campaign talking point that's going to be the primary thing. For example, I mean, in 2008, when the housing crisis was set off on the precipice of the LeBronda, where did you go? Where did you go, LeBronda? I think LeBronda disappeared. LeBronda disappeared. LeBronda disappeared. Come on, LeBronda. Come on. He's probably Googling, what is the definition of atheism versus agnosticism? Flipping out. So anyways, yeah, in 2008, on the precipice of the student loan debt crisis, that was John McCain was running against Barack Obama, and when that housing crisis, that housing bubble bursted, that was the only thing that was being talked about in the debates at that point. It was the pressing issue. But student loan debt is sort of kept in the background. No one talks about it, even though it really is our modern day housing bubble. But no one talks about it because, and I really do think it's because my question is, why aren't students out on the streets rioting? Okay, when you see headlines like these, I've paid $18,000 to a $24,000 student loan and I still owe $24,000. Why aren't students out on the streets rioting over this shit? And I really do think part of it is because students, they know, these graduates with the student loan debt know that rioting, getting angry, protesting about the student loan debt crisis basically invalidates their degree. And they don't want to, because on one level, they don't want to pay the massive student loan debt and ask for forgiveness on the student loan debt. But at the same time, they want to believe that their degree is worth something, and they want to believe that they're really smart people. So it's like this weird cognitive dissonance where they want to believe, I got a degree, I must be smart, right? I have a piece of paper, I must be really intelligent, right? You weren't smart enough to notice a terrible student loan scam deal when it was passed right there in front of you. You didn't notice that, but you're such a smart person. That's the thing. That's why a lot of people go to college, because they're stupid and they want to think they're smart. So they plaster a degree to their name so that they can feel secure about their idiocy, about their general stupidity. And I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to be rough about it. But these are the same college graduates who will shame you if you didn't go through the same debt system. They'll call you a dropout. They'll shame you. So I feel like this is sort of karma for such an evil demonic system like the mainstream college system. Let me just go back real quick, because this mentally stunted buffoon trying to defend atheism did provide a comment. LeBron James completely ignoring his mentally stunted... I'm going to have to pull out the tweet because you are a complete fool, LeBron. I did tweet out a screenshot of your mentally stunted comment. I'm going to pull it out here because you are truly a retard. And it's funny that LeBron isn't talking about what I mentioned, his mentally stunted double-speak definition of agnosticism versus atheism. So we're going to pull that up here and make a total fool of this fool because he's trying to defend... I did a video recently, Is Atheism a Religion? And I got a lot of semantic garbage backpedaling. And LeBron here in the live chat was trying to pull off some of this semantic backpedaling, which I just find to be hilarious. So we're going to pull out this screenshot here of this stunted boy's comment. Yeah, and this stunted boy here, there he is. He left a hilarious comment, and since you've just completely chosen to ignore my question here, you're talking about, Chris, why does your belief in God suddenly link up with your flat Earth obsession? Have you been Dubai'd? I guess that's a reference to Eric Dubay. Well, notice how you're utterly deflecting from your mentally stunted comment that you left earlier. So here is LeBron James' comment that he left to me earlier. He said, Red Pill Philosophy, agnosticism is just... Let me just make sure. Yeah, there it is. Agnosticism is just saying you don't know if a God exists either way. Atheism is a lack of belief, not a claim that you know there isn't a God. So I respond, LOL. So agnosticism, quote, is just saying you don't know either way. Atheism is a lack of belief, not a claim that you know there isn't a God. I go, LOL again. There's literally no difference between your definition of agnostic and atheist, despite your presenting them as different. You are a literal retard, but that's obvious if you're just another atheist idiot. And again, this is funny. So you try to suggest that there's two different definitions. There's a different definition between agnosticism and atheism, but you describe them as basically the same. Agnosticism is just saying you don't know either way. Atheism is not a claim that you know there isn't a God. Sounds to me like that's basically the same thing. So if they're basically the same thing, why would you present them as different? And why would there be two different words to describe the same thing? This is moving the goalpost, atheist backpedaling. Okay? So if agnostic is just saying you don't know either way, atheism is a lack of belief, not a claim that you know there isn't a God, so you're basically saying you don't know, which is what an agnostic is saying. Agnostics don't know, so you don't know. So you're basically presenting these two things as different, but you're defining them essentially the same way, which is retarded for a number of reasons. Why would they have different terms for the same thing? All right. Now, there might be variations. I mean, if you look up agnostic, we all know what it means. If you look up atheist, at best you can say that a strong atheist versus a weak atheist, but a weak atheist is basically an agnostic. A strong atheist basically say, because apparently these are the fucking terms that we got to use now. If you're a strong atheist, you're absolutely certain that there's no God. But if you're a weak atheist, you kind of don't know. But at that point, you're basically bridging back over into agnostic. So these are the funny semantic nonsense garbage word games that some atheists in one of my prior live chats, they were trying to do the semantic thing. Okay, fine. You want to identify yourself as a weak atheist? Okay, go for it. Unimpressive. Congratulations, you're a weak atheist. We don't care. You're basically an agnostic. I wish I had two hands. I'm holding a selfie stick right now. I wish I had two hands. I'd start fucking clapping. So, it's just fine. It's a cult. Atheism is a cult. I've been harassed by atheists almost more than any other group. They are a vicious cult. All right, let's see here. I just want to make sure that this stunted boy didn't leave another comment. Let me just go back. Stunted boy says, one deals with knowledge, the other deals with active belief. Literally semantic garbage. All right, both? You're suggesting that both are basically just, we don't know. Then what is the actual difference between an agnostic and an atheist, for that matter? And number two, why would you present them as two very distinct and different things? You're a fraud, man. You've been exposed. Total fraudulent moron. And the truth is that other people use other semantics, like a spectrum of atheism. And on one side, you have a, quote, strong atheist. And those are atheists who absolutely assert there is no God. I am absolutely certain there is no God. Versus a weak atheist who is more just kind of on the fence about it. So there's a difference between asserting it with certainty and being neutrally open to the possibility either way. So, I don't think you're responding anymore. Anyways, we're back to the live chat here. Anyways, sorry for going off on that tangent, but I had to respond to it because it's truly hilarious. Semantic garbage. That is so funny. Semantic garbage. And of course, I'm actually debating atheists right now, Michael. LeBronda is an atheist. He's in the live chat right now, and we're actually debating right now. So go, chill out. LeBronda James asks, what God or gods do you believe in? Again, it's just weird. Stop assuming I'm like some Christian. It's so dumb. It has nothing to do with whether or not I believe in any God or gods. I don't even really believe in any God or gods per se. Like a creator, a programmer, someone who pushed the on button for the universe. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. Fundamental causation. Of course, that's the problem with fundamental causes. But I'm not going to get into that now. So LeBronda James just pivoting and deflecting to whether or not I believe in a certain... It's just silly garbage. Just deflecting. Now LeBronda's saying, so you don't believe in a God, huh? Again, you're just obsessed with God. Why are atheists so obsessed with God? Just stop asking me about God, bro. So mentally stunted. Anyways. So anyways, let's get back to the topic of today's live stream, because I know a lot of you guys saw the title. It's about student loans, yet I'm in here talking about atheism or some stupid, silly garbage. See, I don't even think the 2020 election is going to be enough for it to become a major campaign platform. Um, See, now LeBronda has just devolved into complete and utter just silliness at this point, which is understandable. You've been exposed that your argument was completely mentally stunted. You presented agnosticism versus atheism as two distinctly different things, yet the definitions you provided for each were essentially the same. So now you're just talking about, why does my beard similar to the beard of Jesus? You know, it's gotten to the point, you're obsessed with Jesus, you're obsessed with talking about God this, God that. Again, atheism is your little cult. You're obsessed with the idea of a God, probably because you reject it, so you're obsessed with it. That's why you keep inserting it in. It's like, stop. You think about God more than I do, and you don't even believe in God. It's so weird. So I mean, look, man, have a good day, bro. Have a good day. Michael says, Red Pill, someone made a video insulting you. You should respond to it, bro. Was it an atheist? Was it another butthurt atheist? I've had atheists make videos about me before. It's funny. They're a creepy cult. What can we say? They're a creepy cult. Yeah, man, a lot of people make videos insulting me. What's new, bro? Tell me something I don't know. So, here we are. Chris, can you add me on Google Hangouts if I PM you on here? I mean, I don't really use Google Hangouts too much, so I'm not even sure if that would be the right place to talk. Michael says, it's called The Deranged Mind, a Red Pill Philosophy. Well, there it is. If anybody else wants to go watch it, they can go watch it. LeBronda James says, by the way, I love your Jesus-y beard. Again, talking about Jesus, and I don't blame you for liking the beard. It's quite spectacular, so. Anyways, so there you have it. So, again, no, I'm not on Discord. Red Pill University is asking if I'm on Discord. I am not on Discord. I had a couple people ask me to join Discord, but I just don't see the point yet. Maybe I'll get on it. Anyways, so, Jesus, where do we begin? So yeah, I don't even think that by 2020, the student loan debt crisis is going to even be a major campaign talking point. Not even in 2020. It's going to take till 2024. It's going to take till 2024 for it to become a real issue that people actually start talking about. And the reason, again, I think is because a lot of the students with the crippling student loan debt, they do not want to be crippled, or rather, they do not want to have to go out there and start rioting. Because honestly, like, you know, if I was this person right here, hang on. Wow, mouse, it's not that hard to work. If I was this person right here, and title of the article, I've paid $18,000 to a $24,000 student loan and I still owe $24,000. If I was that person, if I was that student and I was crippled by that amount of debt, I would be freaking out. I would be rioting, I'd be protesting, because what's happening to these poor college students is absolutely horrible. Yeah, at Red Pill University, you know, maybe send me like a private message or something. And I'll get back to you, man. You know, maybe via Facebook or something. Fix that mustache there. Get that mustache looking right. LeBron says, talk to you later, Chris. You're a good man. Oh, well thank you, sir. I still don't know if you're an atheist or not, though. So I don't know if you're just a butthurt atheist trying to make semantic distinction nonsense, or if you're just a troll who likes fucking around. Either way, take care, buddy. Um, so yeah, it's because a lot of students with the crippling student loan debt, they do not want to come out publicly, and LeBronda has confirmed that he's a butthurt atheist. Well, thank you. I knew that from the first comment you posted. Have a good day, my friend. Don't forget to, take into account the fact that you're a conscious being. A lot of people, a lot of physicalists love to overlook the fact that they're sentient beings because it's so much easier to immerse yourself in the objective physical world of matter, particles and physical forces and matter. Very easy to obsess into that, and then overlook the fact that you're conscious. Oh shit! What apparatus are you using to experience the physical reality? Oh, it's consciousness, bro. But a lot of people like to pretend consciousness doesn't exist. They like to exclude it from their mathematical equations of the universe, because that's why it's called the hard problem of consciousness. Because it's a monkey wrench in the physicalist ideology, the physicalist atheist ideology. Consciousness is a monkey wrench in the physicalist atheist ideology. That's why they don't want to talk about it. That's why they just ignore it and they overlook it. And they say, oh, we don't overlook it. Yeah, you do. You wouldn't be an atheist if you didn't overlook your consciousness. Okay? You'd be a little more open-minded to that there's more going on in the world than just physical particles interacting with each other if you didn't overlook your consciousness. The hard problem of consciousness. The hard problem of consciousness. It's a real hard problem to solve. And I don't just think it's a God of the gaps shit. It's not just, oh, we don't know yet. Why are you taking advantage of something we don't know? When we might figure it out in 10 years. You're never going to figure it out within the bounds of the physicalist paradigm. You'll never figure it out within the bounds of the physicalist paradigm. You never will. So don't overlook your consciousness. That's the miracle in the system. And hey, you don't even need consciousness. I'm not going to get into it now. Fuck you, Jesus. I can't even finish my damn sentences without getting derailed. So again, guys, I don't know. I just wanted to rant about the student loan debt crisis. It's a crazy thing. And the only reason it isn't totally mainstream yet, the only reason it isn't every major headline, I am the smart one, LeBronda, and we've already confirmed that you fail miserably at simple definitions. But that's okay. I love you too. So anyway, it's the only reason it's not like breaking headline news. The only reason it's not the main story. The only reason it's not the primary campaign talking points is because nobody wants to admit that, A, the arrogant students who went to college so they could, belittle anybody who didn't so they can make themselves feel secure because they were afraid of being the one person without a degree. So everybody jumped on that bandwagon just so they can feel secure and knowing that they're not the, quote, dropout. These students don't want to go around and publicly acknowledge that they were screwed, they were gypped, because that would also imply that you're too dumb to know that you were getting screwed over. But also parents play a role too. Parents don't want to admit that they sent their kids to a place that just financially crippled them. So parents are parents are also involved in this sort of collective agreement to not really talk about it. Because parents don't want to believe that they failed their children. Parents don't want to believe that the colleges that they thought were going to be the gateway to their child's success and comfort and in life was a bad thing. They don't want to believe that they... somebody asked, why do you unapologetically bounce from one subject to another? Because I'm here to be myself. I'm not here to milk my audience and manipulate them just to suck money off you and pretend I care about you. But we talked about that earlier, so I won't get into it. Getting distracted again, god damn it. So parents also do not want to acknowledge that maybe the colleges that they saved up and sent their children to wasn't good for their children. And a lot of parents, they don't want to look, they don't want to stare their children in the eyes. They don't want to stare their children in the eyes and say, I told you your whole life that you had to get good grades so that you can go to college, so that you can get a job. I told you that that was the pathway to the success. I got angry at you when you didn't get good grades. Parents don't want to look in their children's eyes and say, I raised you the wrong way. I gave you bad advice. I put crippling debt on your shoulders. So it's sort of like this collective thing where nobody wants to acknowledge that the system's fucked. That the system's fucked. But the bubble, the student loan debt is gonna burst eventually. It's gonna burst eventually. It may not happen in 2020. It may not happen, in the era of Donald Trump, finally someone with balls. It might come in the 2024 election, but it's going to be a main campaign talking point. Links to these incredible shirts are right there in the description. But when you got headlines like these, I've paid $18,000 to a $24,000 student loan debt, and I still owe $24,000. When you see headlines like those, something's severely wrong. Something is severely wrong with the system. And nobody wants to talk about it. And I think I just went over some of the reasons why people don't want to talk about it. A big part of it is the students. Students don't want to admit that they were too dumb to realize they were getting gypped. And as I said on Twitter earlier today, I don't even remember what it was now. It literally slipped my mind just right now, so I'm not even going to bother. But it's crazy, man. Richard in the live chat says, I have no student loan debt and I'm 30. I'm glad I didn't go to the route of a useless degree, as all my friends did. Well, and you know what? I bet you felt a little, I bet you felt a little left out sometimes, I bet, right? You felt a little left out because your friends were out there getting their degree and, they probably called you a dropout a few times. And now who's got the last laugh? And it's not about laughing at people, but it is about acknowledging what's really going on. See, Richard has confirmed, I did feel left out and judged big time, you see? But you know what? Life isn't about doing what's comfortable. So, there's a reason why the people who do the easy, predictable thing are now suffering, while the people who did the hard thing, the people who didn't just go along to get along, there's a reason why a lot of them are doing a lot better. And the ones who went along with the herd to avoid, being criticized because they didn't like any negative peer pressure, they're the ones who are suffering now, Richard also says in the live chat, you're right, bro. All of my friends are screwed now. I'm glad I didn't get sucked into it. I have clean credit and want to buy a home. Well, there you go. There you effing go. There you freaking go. And again, it's not even to belittle anybody who chooses college. If that's what you do, that's what you do. That's great. Though it is fucked up that anybody who doesn't go through that system is shamed, called dropout. Even though some of history's greatest genius minds hated schooling, dropped out, didn't go to college, and paved their own way. And that's what's kind of sick and scary and sad about college sometimes, that it's almost like a cult where people who aren't confident in their intellectual abilities, it's like a cult they become part of to cover themselves in a degree and cover themselves in, well, I went to this college, so that if anybody ever questions your intelligence, you can just say, but I graduated, so I must be smart, and you can't tell me anything. It's like a cult of people who aren't secure in their intelligence, and they use this cult called college to shame anybody who isn't part of the cult. And if you have a different idea, or you say anything that sounds a little too against the intellectual status quo, you get ridiculed. And that's what's sick about the whole thing, is what I like to call intellectual authoritarianism. It's where new revolutionary paradigm shifting ideas are shamed and ridiculed by the people who are too dumb to see a new, fresh idea coming their way. Ah, that's funny. Yes. Am I looking forward to the new Death Stranding trailer? Yes, I am. It's a trailer for the video game Death Stranding. Death Stranding. Jesus Christ. Man, oh my God. Somebody says they can learn pretty much anything on the internet. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. See, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. It takes a self-motivated person to go self-teach themselves on the internet. And again, that a lot of times that's what some college students lack. They lack self-motivation. And so when you don't have the motivation to push yourself forward out of your own will, you just get on the conveyor belt in the college, and the conveyor belt and the momentum of everybody else going with you, you just let that move you forward. You just let that move you forward. Whereas learning something yourself on the internet requires so much more effort in terms of summoning the motivation and summoning the will to teach yourself. And again, people ask, why is there a student loan debt crisis? Why are all these poor college students covered in crippling student loan debt? You'd think the people who go to be smart and educated would have value in society and wouldn't just end up with a debt and working at Starbucks when they get out of college. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've been lied to. When we were in grade school, as little kids in grade school, we were told that the only way to be successful is to be an obedient slave who does what he's told. And the thing is that that's not how the real world works. In the real world, being a self-starter is one of the most valuable features you can have in the marketplace. Being a self-starter. So that's the key ingredient that's missing. Is that sort of self-drive, self-determination, self-starting mentality. Do you take it upon yourself to do it out of your own initiative, or are you waiting for orders? If you're waiting for orders, you're just a follower, not a leader. And leaders get paid more because they have more responsibility on their shoulders, and that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. People get angry. It's like, oh, why should I stock shelves at a grocery store and I work 40 hours of back-breaking work a week, but the manager, he just sits in the office and he doesn't do anything and he gets paid 10 times more than me. How is that fair? I'll tell you why it's fair, motherfucker. Because when a customer walks into the grocery store and they slip and fall, you point your little finger to the manager and say, talk to him, talk to the manager. There's no responsibility on your shoulders. You don't bear the burden of the very existence of the damn business. You get to divert responsibility to the manager when things ever get too hot. And that's just a fact. There's a reason why you're just not going to get paid more if you're just stocking shelves and taking orders. Managers are way underpaid too, though. Is that true? I mean, it depends what job they're in, but the managers still get paid more, yeah. Somebody wants to know when I'm gonna do a college tour and give speeches. That shit is a racket. I'm just gonna come out and say it. All right, that's a racket. Touring colleges and saying something somewhat inflammatory, and then getting a bunch of free publicity because you pissed off some SJWs, and then your fucking personality value, your online persona skyrocket. That's a fucking racket. It's so cliche. Like Milo Yiannopoulos pioneered that shit. He made it cool, and everybody else is just jumping on that bandwagon. I'm just gonna go on a college tour now, piss off some SJWs. And I'll be rich. It's just predictable, and it's boring to me at this point. So I don't care. I just don't care. It's boring. It's easy. I don't want to do boring, easy shit. Someone says, please drink rum while you talk. Bob the Builder, I have no idea what you're talking about. Bob the Builder says, you just said college is the easy way out. Then you said you just want to do easy shit. Did I say I just want to do easy shit? I don't remember saying that. Maybe I did, but I just don't remember. Someone could refresh my memory. I don't remember saying that I want to do easy shit. Stephen Hayes asking, totally off topic, what do you think about the porn industry? It's porn. I mean, you said you'd rather do boring, easy shit. No, I said that I would rather not do boring. Now, maybe I misspoke. What I meant was I'd rather not do boring, easy shit. Like doing a college tour to stir up SJWs and get free publicity. So pornography, porn is probably crap. We got LeBronda back in the live chat asking me about the NoFap. Um, I don't really know. I don't really have too much of an opinion on NoFap. Probably a good idea. People report that they get a lot of masturbation. People report that they get a lot of motivation when they stop masturbating. Um, Someone says NoFap is a scam. I honestly have no idea. It's one of those self-help fads that came along in recent years. I don't know if it's just a hoax. Because I feel like a lot of self-help is just self-procrastination. A lot of times you know what you got to do to improve your life. But in the back of your mind, you also know how hard that is. And you also know that as much as you want to improve yourself, you don't want to take the risks or put the work in to do the things that will help you. So self-help, reading books, watching DVDs, watching YouTube videos, going to seminars. I think sometimes self-help is just self-procrastination. It's you already know what you have to do, but better than admitting to yourself that you're not going to actually do the challenging things you know you have to do to move ahead, it's a lot easier to just pretend you're moving forward by consuming Tony Robbins shit and watching endless self-help stuff. And it's just a way to postpone the actual real work you got to do. Gavin McInnes has a no wank policy apparently for a certain period of time per month. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, it makes sense. When you're done jerking off, you feel like you've emptied the tank and you're ready to go to bed. So it seems like you're not as motivated. So if you're talking about motivation and a thrust for life and a vigor for life, I mean, I've heard people say that. I've heard, that there's some practices, I don't know if it's like some ancient practice or some shit, but like, there's this idea that if you literally don't masturbate for like very long periods of time, like a month or more, that you actually convert that male sexual energy. It's basically I don't know if it's converted, but you end up using that male sexual energy for things, just business, success goals, working out. Like it just that energy manifests into life activities as opposed to just manifesting into a napkin. Manifesting into a napkin. Oh my God. Your mustache is something of a legend. Well, thank you. It has its good days, it has its bad days. Sometimes it has bad days and it doesn't look as good, but it's doing well today. The mustache is doing pretty decent today. Yes. Someone says that my mustache is masturbation material. Somebody says NoFap has caused him to lose 95 pounds from 270 to 175. Oh, wow. Somebody says they used to fight in martial arts and they would not have sex before fights. Didn't someone say that? I also heard like some other popular athletes say that. Yes. Do I like black women? You mean am I sexually attracted to black women? Not too much. $75 people watching. It's not bad. LeBronda the angry atheist in the chat says my channel's dead, and I'm just trashing atheism for views. That's fine. But seriously, your mustache is magnificent. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Blue wave. Do you think there will be a blue wave? You mean like Democrats taking over politically? I don't think so. Not until after Trump finishes 8 years. Have you ever met Yoel Romero? Are you saying that because he's Cuban and I'm Cuban? I haven't met Yoel Romero, though I have heard that he used to, I don't know if he still does, but he used to hang around here in Miami. And at the MMA gym that I go to, there's a couple people there who say that one guy said he saw Yoel Romero at Walmart, and that Yoel Romero was just walking around Walmart by himself. Apparently Yoel Romero's coach, Taekwondo coach, is local here in Miami, and there's a couple guys from the MMA gym that I go to who used to train under that same Taekwondo a coach that trained Yoel Romero. But I've never met Yoel Romero. Elon Musk says he's in Miami Beach. Someone says, Yoel and you are pretty much the same color, LOL. Nah, Yoel's definitely darker than I am. I'm not even dark, bro. I don't even know what I asked. Yeah, Yoel Romero is practically black, man. Come on. Yeah, I'm a cracker compared to Yoel Romero. No doubt about it. Am I the only one totally disappointed in Damian Maia? I mean, totally disappointed in Damian Maia. He just hasn't done anything in his last few fights. It's just been, I don't know. I guess I only knew Damian Maia from the highlight reels. I never watched his old stuff back in the day. But I only know Damian Maia from the highlight reels to promote the latest fights and shit. And they always make Damian Maia look so fucking incredible. And I'm sure he is, but man, his last few fights have just been disappointing. Like I expect him to like do these incredible takedowns. He can't even take people down. And I guess people train for that, obviously. But Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia couldn't take down Tyron Woodley for shit. In yesterday's UFC, where it was Damian Maia versus Umar Johnson, was that his name? Damian Maia couldn't touch him practically. So it's kind of, I don't know. Just I expect him to be some kind of incredible like fucking ground game guru, and I guess he is when he's on the ground. But I just he hasn't been able to shine, at least not from what I've seen. Though I have seen some of his earlier fights, and those were fantastic. But I guess people caught on to Damian Maia. They caught on to Damian Maia, and now they have they know to avoid the ground with him. Yeah, bro. No, I've never confronted, or for that matter, seen any Hebrew Israelites. I mean, I did debate that black racist Minnesota boy. I don't know if he was a Hebrew Israelite specifically, but he sounded like he pretty much was. I did debate him. You guys probably saw the debate. It's a funny debate. Um, but I've never seen any of them in person. I would absolutely love to be walking down the street one day and see those motherfuckers preaching their racist garbage on a street corner. It would be so fun to live stream that. Anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to rant about that. Um, yeah, it's garbage. Um, yeah, it would be awesome. But I don't know. I don't think there. I don't. I've never. I don't think those people hang around much here in Miami. So I know somebody who lives in New York, who's walking down the street one day and saw those motherfuckers on a street corner preaching their racist shit. So there you go. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I just wanted to get a lot of that shit off of my chest. Just rant. I was reading this article. It's just so ridiculous hearing this fucking poor college student just, going through years of crippling student loan debt, and the more you pay in, the interest keeps piling, and it's just so fucked up, and it's so sad. And I don't know why the hell students aren't rioting on the fucking streets yet. Um, and I think I know why they're not rioting on the streets. It's because to riot is to admit you were scammed. And somebody who arrogantly went to college so they can get a degree to prove how smart they are when they were actually just insecure about how smart they are, they're never going to want to admit that they were wrong, that they got scammed, because that would mean you're not as smart as the degree that you hold indicates you are. So a lot of people will never admit it. And that's why the student loan debt crisis is the giant elephant in the room. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Have a good evening, folks. We'll talk soon.